Greetings. Elder Blacklight here. Now dig this. Today I got a lot of talk in store for you today that I hope will enlighten you and open up your mind a little bit more concerning the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I made a bold statement and told you in one of my videos, recent videos, that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the only real black leader we got yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Not only was he a leader, but he was a scientist, one of our scientists in the Godhead. His mission was to give us a message concerning the awakening of the black man. So he took us back to the roots of before there was a sun, moon, and a star. And what I want to show you today, if my tablet don't act up and Comcast cooperates, is the difference between two worlds. Not two planets, but two worlds. This right here, the United States Constitution, represents the Caucasian world. This book, which is my mother's donation book, given to her by the Lost Foundation of Islam, represents our world, the black world, an alternative to this world. As you see behind me, you see planets. Well, the great scientist, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was teaching this subject on the subject called Seven Planets. He got a whole lot of teachings other than the Caucasian is the devil. He got a whole lot of audio out there concerning the creation of God, Allah. Given to him by the Mahdi, Master Farad Muhammad. Allah came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. So we're going to concern ourselves with trigonometry in the beginning of this talk I want to talk to you about today. And so let us continue. I'm reading from a book called, or some transcripts called Redemption Papers, issued by the militia Texas branch, concerning their concerns over the Constitution, facts or fiction. Here's what they look like. I received these papers many years back, maybe 25 years ago or 30 years. and it says new money issued back by debt, not gold. Roosevelt paper said it was at first believed that some form of script or emergency currency would be necessary for the conduct of ordinary business, but after the passage of the Emergency Banking Act of March 9, 1933. Now, stop right there. 1933 is when, around the time that Master Farad Muhammad left the messenger in charge, told him you're a solo act now, but your job is to wake your people up. And so I raised you up to fly, little Elijah. So I'm going to see how high you fly. But he never lost communications with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the radio in the head. There are those of you who know what that means, the radio in the head. So it became evident that they would not be needed because the act made possible the issue of necessary amount of emergency currency in the form of Federal Reserve banknotes, which could be based on any sound assets owned by the bank. The Roosevelt Papers, Volume 2, page 29. That's where they got that information from, the Roosevelt Papers. The Federal Reserve notes after March 9, 1933 became Federal Reserve banknotes and were emergency war scripts. They were no longer backed by the gold of the people. All gold had been seized as an act of war. The Federal Reserve banknotes were now backed by the assets of the banks. The assets of the banks are the mortgages held on the people and their property. Now, this opened up your eyes. Is a civil war that's being a cold civil war that's being fought right now as we speak in the impeachment attempt of Donald Trump. Now, Alex Jones was a heavy supporter of Donald Trump, and he was interviewing Minister Farrakhan, and Minister Farrakhan gave an explanation that Donald Trump had his own money, and that he would make a good president, because they were under the impression that Donald Trump wouldn't double cross them, because Texas wanted to be a state of their own. Now, what does this have to do with us, the black man? Actually, this is a civil war because the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and their little crew overthrew the Constitution. The Constitution has no meaning no more. That's why you see martial law. You're in a soft martial law mode now, and especially to the black man, they checking him real tight, and they beginning to check their own white citizens, because they are now slaves up under the Rothschilds. So, using that outline, the currency could change over to anything now. Don't have to be paper money. As you see these, as you see right here, those are Treasury notes, not Federal Reserve notes. These are Treasury certificates, rather. Excuse me. Treasury, silver Treasury certificates that you can redeem at the Treasury office. I have a couple of them. My mother, she was trying to get into gold. Well, see, gold and silver don't have no value, but when the Constitution was written up, that's when it had a value. That's when they deemed Section 10 of the Constitution says, no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coins a tender in payment of debts. So that's void and null now. So they've been committing a fraud to other people. That's a false pretense scenario that we have here. And the black man under the Supreme Court could never be a citizen. So, but they needed us to make their little scheme work. So we're going to continue this and stay closely in touch with this. We're going to show you how you've been fooled under technology. This is Black Light.